Everyone, hey, nice to see you. My name is Alisa Shakespeare, and I am going live with you tonight. This is our first full live. We did a little practice last night. This is Aging Out Loud, and we are coming to you to just kind of tell you. We got some notes here. We're gonna get into it. This is gonna be a full hour tonight, and we're gonna tell you who we are, what we're about, a little background story on me. I'm actually traveling and didn't expect to be, but I'm actually in a hotel. We meant to come live from our bakery, but instead I'm live from Bentonville, Arkansas in a hotel room. So, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to make the most of it. The background isn't so interesting, but hopefully I can be more interesting when I talk to you all today. So again, my name is Alisa Shakespeare. I'm 58, mother of two. I have a 3-year-old little adopted boy and a 3-month-old adopted boy. So I am living out loud. So I am telling you all to do it, and I'm doing it as well. There, I hope y'all can hear me. And so that's what we're doing. We are going to be going through just kind of what it was like to be Gen X. And so, welcome to the live stream. I'm Alisa Shakespeare. And tonight we are going to laugh. We're going to reminisce. We're going to ask big questions. What does it really mean to age out loud instead of aging quietly? And so now that I'm 50, I never really thought about it. When you're in your 20s and 30s, you don't think about it so much. And you start hitting your 40s and 50s, and all of a sudden you really go, what does it mean to age out loud? Like, what does it mean to age in general? And so that's what we're going to get into tonight. So I want to kind of engage you guys to begin with. So where are you tuning in from tonight? I'd love to know. And how old were you when you first realized, oh, I'm kind of officially a grown-up? Sometimes I even today think to myself, I've been doing what I've been doing for 30 years. And sometimes I think I'm just doing this till my life really gets started, but my life's officially started. I'm 58 years old. So, but as far as retirement, that's not something that I have a lot of interest in. All right, so let's get started. So segment one tonight, we're going to talk about childhood was basically a train wreck for Gen Xers, right? My childhood, I grew up next door to my great grandmother in Calamus, Iowa, small little town. And, I grew up eating Jello with carrots floating in it. So if you're a Gen Xer, I'm sure you did as well. So if you guys please drop in the chat the most dangerous toy or snack that you survived, lawn darts, metal slides, what have you. I specifically remember when I was a kid, the teeter-totters, and I just actually posted a bit on that today. You'd have, I wasn't the smallest or the skinniest kid when I was growing up. I was a little bit more of a solid gal. And so, you get on the teeter-totter, and then I would be on one side, and then, a couple other girls would be on the other side. And then, you just get off and let them flip and flop, right? So I'd love to hear about your chats, guys, in the chats, just to tell me about kind of your fun childhood memories. All right. So, yeah, drop it in the chat. All right. Our parents didn't know what gluten was. They just basically told us to walk it off. Hey there, nice to see you. I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud, and I thought I was going to come to you from our commercial bakery, but instead I'm coming to you from a hotel room in Bentonville, Arkansas. Tonight is our first full 1 hour live, and we are going to tell you kind of what we're about, what our platform's about, what we're going to be doing, all of the Gen X nostalgia things that we're going to be talking about. And again, I realize that my background is not interesting, so hopefully my words will be a little more interesting because I meant to be in our commercial kitchen. So I am 58. I have 2 kids that are 3 years old and 3 months old, adopted little boys. So I practice what I preach in Aging Out Loud. I run commercial bakeries I'm from Iowa, based out of Brighton, Michigan. And Aging Out Loud on YouTube is going to be a lot of, we're going to be doing a ton of baking segments. We're going to be doing a ton of better for you segments. We're going to be doing a ton of giveaways. I have sugar, y'all. We make about a truckload of baked goods a day. I'm in Bentonville, Arkansas. And if you know, there's a very large retailer here that we manufacture products for. I got called to a meeting at the last minute. I meant to be in test kitchen. Hi, y'all. Nice to see you. Honor, nice to see you. And I hope that we can share some stories, guys. I'm a Gen Xer and I'm hardcore Gen Xer. And I'm gonna tell you this, when I was younger, I was cool. Like I was on it. I was in it to win it, you know, all about the stuff. And now I basically wear aprons to Planet Fitness like a big nerd. So, all right, so I'm gonna get into it. So anyway, again, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. And tonight we're gonna reminisce. We're gonna talk about questions as it relates to Gen X. So if you guys don't mind chatting, like kind of where you're tuning into from tonight, I would love it. This is our first live, so it's one of those things that we're just kind of getting our sea legs on live. Normally our lives are gonna be coming from a commercial bakery. And starting next week, we're doing all kinds of dessert charcuterie boards. We're gonna be showing you all kinds of better for you desserts. If you're diabetic, we're gonna be showing you how to get sugar out of products, all kinds of stuff. But we're also gonna be doing a lot of reminiscing. So if you're over 40, most of my content is made for you. If you're under 40, you probably won't understand a lot of the jokes, right? So basically, my childhood was just a train wreck. I grew up in Kalamazoo, Iowa. I grew up next door to my great grandmother who ironed her sheets. She ironed her sheets. Put wallpaper on the wall. Hi, Charmin. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I live here. Yeah, I see you. I got you. Okay. And so I grew up next door to her, and she taught me how to bake and she taught me how to cook at a young age. So when I was probably 10, I was making full meals for my family. But she taught me how to bake. I went to the University of Iowa. I got a degree in history and political science. I started making, oh, okay, you did. I see you, Charmin. Nice to, okay, yeah, well, that's great. I'm glad that, I hope that you were feeling, better, but thank you for joining us. And so, yeah, definitely come in. You found a tribe here. We're gonna talk about all kinds of fun stuff. Anyway, so I grew up, and I'm sure you did too, eating floating carrots in lime jello. So we're gonna go through all of that. So that's Gen X, right? Gen X, our parents didn't know what gluten was. So if we said we had gluten, our parents said, it says that, basically said that we are going to, our parents told us to walk it off, right? All right. So the next thing we're gonna be talking about Remember When series. That's gonna be part of Aging Out Loud, which is payphones. Y'all remember Columbia House? Do you all remember Columbia House? You get 12 CDs for a penny and then a lifetime of complete and total debt. We're gonna talk about Columbia House. We're gonna be talking about dodgeball trauma. We're gonna be talking about gym trauma in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We're gonna be talking about the fact that meeting at the mall was the original dating app, and meeting at the fountains at the mall was basically Tinder, right? That was the hookup spot where you met everybody. And God forbid you saw your crush at Sam Goody's. So we're gonna be reminiscing about all of that kind of stuff. Anybody here still owe Columbia House any money? Anybody still owe Columbia House money? I think that the debt collectors, I'm 58, so yeah, I think they finally stopped maybe 10 years ago on Columbia House. I'm just kidding, but anyway. So yeah, fun. So we'd love to hear memories from you all. Step in, tell us about your memories. The next is we're gonna talk about why Aging Out Loud is more of a movement. So I think that you all realize that Aging Out Loud is more about not listening to the noise. You know, we're told that we are supposed to be going and doing this end game, and retirement should be this end game. But you know, not everybody feels that way. Not everybody feels like that they want to, fade out. And I believe that, especially Gen X, I think we have a lot of leading left to do. I think we have a lot of things left to do. And I don't think that, I think that retirement works for some. I don't think it works for everybody, but we're kind of told, that that's supposed to be the end game. And just a little history behind retirement, folks. Retirement says that it didn't even become a thing until Germany after World War I. And it was only because they were trying to get people out of the workplace to let soldiers come back in. And now it's this whole thing. If you research where there is the most centenarians, people that live to be at least 100, where they are, it's in areas that don't even have a word for retirement, like Japan and different areas. So we're going to be talking about not that we're against retirement per se, but I do advocate and I do talk about and I do preach about a lot is in losing purpose. So retiring is one thing, but we as humans are really not meant to fade out. We're meant to evolve. And so there's a lot to be said for that. So if you're just joining us, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. My company is a Total Cluster Fudge. That's the name of it. I own commercial bakeries. We manufacture for companies all across the country. Aging Out Loud is a brand new platform. This is our first full 1 hour live, and we are just Q&A. I'm going to repeat myself quite a bit just because I wanted to just tell everybody. I just want to do a quick intro of who I am. So I'm going to be on for a full hour tonight, just making a quick introduction. If you're watching my content on YouTube, I'm at Alisa Shakespeare at AOL with Gen X. That's Aging Out Loud with Gen X. And our content is very much around Gen X nostalgia, sharing childhood memories. We don't get into any kind of politics or religion or anything like that, just because we try to keep it very, very social and not so much media, if that makes sense. All right, so let me just start from the top again. I'm Alisa Shakespeare, and Aging Out Loud. This is our first full hour live stream, so we are just going to kind of repeat ourselves for the full hour. And so Aging Out Loud is about finding shared stories, Gen X nostalgia. I had intended on coming to you from our commercial bakery so you can kind of see everything we're doing. I got called to Bentonville, Arkansas, so I'm actually in a hotel, but I don't care. I'm just going to get through it because it's good practice, and whoever we can kind of make introductions to, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. All right. So we're going to be talking about, if you can tell me where you're coming from tonight, that would be great as well. We're going to do a lot on Remember When, a Remember When series, which is Remember Payphones, Remember Columbia House, Remember the Mall was basically our dating app back in the day. Remember Dodgeball Trauma. Getting your head beat. I don't even think they do it anymore. If they do, I think they do it with different balls. I don't know if dodgeball is still a thing or not, but it was definitely a thing when we were in school. I'll tell you something else that we have to talk about. Orange Julius, y'all. Orange Julius. I mean, I don't know about you, but I use the food court as my way of like surveilling for my crush. And if he walked by, God forbid, I was under the table at the Orange Julius because, I didn't want him to know. I was like, checking him out at the mall. So if you're just joining us, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. And we are, I'm just doing a 1 hour introduction tonight. Nothing fancy, just getting my sea legs on being 1 hour live on YouTube. So I'd love for you guys to stay, chat, do some shared stories with us tonight. That would be great. But Aging Out Loud is really about redefining aging in America. I mean, the one area where people are openly discriminate against people is in aging. It's a fact. It is a fact. Because nobody says to somebody, hey, we need some young blood in here. We need some you don't say that about any other group, but somehow after a certain age we become invisible, especially women. Women, that, you get to 54 and all of the magazines and the fashion trends stop even asking you your opinion. Joke's on them, on advertisers, because women over 50 control $15 trillion of the economy. So joke's on them. And I'm not saying this from a standpoint of being a victim. I'm coming to you from a standpoint of empowerment. I have 2 adopted children, 3 years old and 3 months old. I'm 58. I run a company. I got called down to Bentonville. I manufacture products for Walmart. My commercial bakery does. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a mother. I'm a business owner. I have zero desire to slow down or quit. I am living my best life and I'm living out loud. And I want this to be I want Aging Out Loud to be more of a movement, not just social media. And one of the things we're going to be kicking off next week is it's called The Letter Lives. And I'm making it my personal mission to teach Gen Z how to write letters to loved ones. Because they've never done it. Think about it, y'all. If you guys are all Gen Xers, Gen Z doesn't even know the magic that was the mailbox, y'all. Remember when we were growing up, the magic that was the mailbox? I mean, if you got a letter from someone, your crush, an aunt, or whatever, you're like, oh, my name is on this. I mean, it was just amazing. They don't really know that. I mean, their invitations and birthday invitations, their whole life has just been digital. And so we're going to be doing a whole thing, and y'all, we're giving stuff away. Hear me now. We're going to be giving stuff away in contests and competitions. The stuff we're giving away is all food, just so you know. We're giving away my company's Total Cluster Fudge. We have a commercial bakeries. We manufacture lots of good stuff, and I am on a mission to teach we're Gen X. It is our job to show the next generation, take those things that we did that were awesome and do it again, or at least show them the joy of doing it. That's kind of my mission and my goal. And then the other thing, we're going to be talking a lot about business. We'll be talking about how to empower people in business, even as you get older in life, because the majority of businesses, the vast majority of businesses that are started by people over the age of 45 have a much higher success rate than people younger. So y'all, if you think that it's too late for you because you're 45 or 50, whatever, you're wrong. So the vast majority of businesses that start by people over the age of 45 have a much higher success rate than under the age of 45. So that's all I'm saying. Anyway, so we're going to be going through all of that. We're going to be doing, if you guys want to, we're going to be talking about Saturday morning cartoons a lot. So Saturday morning cartoons, y'all remember Pepe Le Pew? Saturday morning cartoons. I mean, basically he was in violation of every HR violation ever, with him and the skunk and the whole thing. So hi, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. My company is a Total Cluster Fudge. That's the name of it. We operate commercial bakeries in the Midwest, and this platform is all about Gen X nostalgia and living your best life into your 50s, 60s, and 70s. And that means starting businesses, adopting children if you want, if that's your jam, or whatever you want to do, whatever it is. This platform is about talking about not only shared stories from the past, but what does your life look like for the next 30 years? Because let me give you some math. If you become relevant as an adult at the age of 20, if your relevancy begins at the age of 20 and you live to be 70, that's a 50-year span. That means 45 to 50 is right in the middle of relevancy. That means if you're 45 or 50, you're right in the middle of relevancy. You've got a good 25 or 30 years of relevancy. We're told that we're supposed to fade out after a certain point. That's what we're told. But it's not true. Gen X especially, we have a lot of leading to do. We have a lot of we have a lot that we can teach people. We can teach the younger generations, and we can teach people going forward for different things that we did. One of which is letter writing. So I brought that up before. All right. So let me just get back into it. I'm trying to follow my notes a little bit here, but I get off subject. So if you follow me on TikTok, it is Aging Out Loud. If you follow me on YouTube, it is Alisa Shakespeare, that's me, at AOL with Gen X. So Aging Out Loud, AOL with Gen X. I do a ton of content called Grit and Glory. And so the inspiration of Grit and Glory is we talk about people who built success later in life. Vera Wang. Do y'all know that Vera Wang did not make her first wedding dress until she was 40? And she only made it because she couldn't find one she liked. And now Vera Wang is Vera Wang, all right? Colonel Sanders did not start Kentucky Fried Chicken until he was 65. And that was after failed businesses. Julia Childs did not start cooking until she was 30. My point is that when we look at these people from the past, we don't look at them like tokens. We look at them like torches to carry it forward. So that's kind of what we're thinking. All right. So we do a lot on Grit and Glory. We do it. I mean, we go back as far as Thomas Jefferson, Andrew Jackson. We talk about all the, like Thomas Jefferson would sign the Declaration of Independence. I don't think he was talking about work-life balance. You know what I mean? Like those weren't things, because retirement wasn't a thing until the turn of the century. I don't know if you guys know that, but retirement wasn't even a thing until early 1900s. It came from Germany, and it was so that the Germans could get people out of the workforce so that the soldiers could come back in. And now we're told that it's some sort of finish line, right? And that's okay for some. I'm not dissing retirement. It's great. but it's not for everybody. But I do advocate for, if you're going to retire, to find some other purpose. And that's really what Aging Out Loud is going to be talking about, that a lot as well. All right, so success has no deadlines, y'all. Built after 40. Look at the numbers, look at the stats, and we'll be posting it. So if you go to our long form on YouTube, you look at the stats, the majority of businesses started by people over 45 have a 5 times higher success rate than people that are younger. Usually it's because people over 45 have some humility, they have experience, they have all of these things, plus if their kids are older, they can give a lot more to the business. My point is if you have a spark in you of following a dream, if you have a spark in you, you do that. And you follow that dream. And so if you took a career path in your 20s that you're done with now, maybe you want to retire, you want to switch, and you want to be a beautician. I don't know what it is. I don't know what your thing is, but here at Aging Out Loud, we're going to empower that. We're going to support it. We're going to have shared stories with others that are doing it, so that you don't feel like it's just you, because we're told, oh, you're too old for that, or you're too, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. All right. So if you look at the content, you'll see grit and glory in my content on YouTube, grit and glory in my content on TikTok. You will see that we talk about historical figures and people that made really big names for themselves, and it's called Built After 40. And so that's great. All right. Cultural commentary. I do a lot on cultural commentary, and it's very satirical, because I don't know about y'all, but I remember when going to the bank was not a miserable experience. And for me personally, walking into a bank anymore, I literally feel like I'm walking into someone's living room. Like, they look at you like, do you have an appointment? When did the service industry become so terrible in many ways? And if you work in the service industry, I'm not saying you're terrible, but these systems the service industry has just changed since Gen X. And so I'm not saying it's right, wrong, good or bad. We're just calling out how different it is, right? But they do still chain the pens to the counter. So that has stayed the same. You can basically make a deposit by scanning your eyeballs. But as far as service, I don't know. I was in the bank literally just this week, and I was the only person in the bank. There was no one in the drive-thru. There was 7 people in the bank, and they took my number and told me to take a seat and wait for an appointment. Like, what is happening? Anyway, so we talk about that, cultural commentary. And it's just how it used to be to fly. Our loved ones used to walk all the way to the gate. And I understand all the reasons why. I'm not getting into that. I don't care. But we are just acknowledging how different it is through shared stories. And so we'll be talking about cultural commentary a ton. The DMV, which is basically where dreams go to die. I mean, let's face it. I just posted today on teeter-totters. If y'all remember teeter-totters, if you're a Gen Xer and somebody getting off the other side and basically throwing you 6 feet into the air on the teeter-totter, and it wasn't really even questioned back in the day. Gen X is the least parented generation ever. So that, we were raised by the street lights, right? So that's it. And we're going to talk a lot about that. And it's humorous and it's funny and it's shared stories. So if you're a Gen Xer, we're going to come up with a lot of, like Columbia House. We bring up a whole deal on Columbia House. If you're a Gen Xer, remember when, Columbia House was the first algorithm, right? You get 12 CDs for a penny and a lifetime of bill collectors, because nobody ever got those. I mean, did anybody ever pay Columbia House? Like, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but we're going to talk about all those kind of things. So that's cultural commentary. All right. So again, if you're just joining us, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. My company is called Total Cluster Fudge, and it's a commercial bakery. I am a mother of 2, 3 years old and 3 months old. So I practice what I preach in Aging Out Loud. I have adopted little boys, and Aging Out Loud is all about empowering people after 40. My content is built for people after 40. It just is. If you're younger than 40 and you like the content, I love it. That's great. But my content is designed for people over 40, both in helping you realize, that you're basically just getting started at 40. You all are. You're just getting started. And we try to post commentary that is very diverse. So we post commentary on Gen X nostalgia, shared stories, cultural commentary. We do a series called Grit and Glory, where we look at historical figures from the past and how, I do a whole bit on Thomas Jefferson. He was 83 years old when he passed away. And he signed the Declaration of Independence when he was 30. And that's 50 years after he signed the Declaration of Independence. We talk about Samuel Adams, who, Samuel Adams started the Boston Tea Party. He was 53, y'all. He was 53. So if you think your time is done and you're over 40, not that you think you're done over 40, but if you think that you shouldn't start a business over 40, it's too late for you, that you just come to us, and we're going to show you all kinds of examples of people that are doing amazing things into their 50s, 60s, and even 70s. Grandma Moses. If you watch my content on TikTok, we do a whole series on Grandma Moses, who was a painter. She didn't start painting till she was 78, and she only did so. Grandma Moses only started painting at 78 because she couldn't embroider anymore. So she literally reinvented her hands, and her painting sold for $1 million and hung in the Louvre. So if you're in your 70s and you've always you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that everybody 78 can start becoming a famous painter, but we're saying y'all can do whatever you want to do. If you're not dead, you're not done. And Aging Out Loud is about that. And I didn't care about any of this until I got to be 58. And then, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I didn't care about any of it. Now that I'm in my 50s and I see where, you just kind of start feeling like you're disappearing a little bit, like people don't take you as serious as you get older, Mama not having it. Mama not having it. So this isn't even really about being like social media. I want this to be a movement, and especially for women. Because, in all the fashion magazines, they stop asking us what we think after 45, 54. 45 to 54, after that, we don't care what you think. I'm 58, so they officially don't care what I think. And joke's on them, because women over 50 control $15 trillion of the economy. So joke's on them. But honestly, no wonder women worry so much about not looking older if you become invisible after 54. So Aging Out Loud is about stopping that narrative, raising people up in their 50s, in their 60s, in their 70s, and we're going to do so by shared stories. We're going to be doing a ton of cooking demos, charcuterie boards and all kinds of stuff, because that's my industry and it's my jam. We're going to be doing a ton of stuff as it relates to diabetes and diabetic things, and how to make cheesecakes and all kinds of stuff that don't spike blood sugar. We're going to be doing a ton of things on Grit and Glory, which is talking about historical figures and how they affect us, how we can kind of carry their legacy forward. So this is our first full hour live, and it's just really a meet and greet so that you can meet me in person. If you go follow me at Aging Out Loud, it's Alisa Shakespeare at AOL with Gen X. That's Aging Out Loud with Gen X. So if you follow me on YouTube, you can check out all of my content there. We will start later this week and next week with long form videos. And we're going to be doing a ton of fun stuff on Halloween and Christmas and all kinds of building charcuterie boards. And most of the stuff that we do that is baking related or cooking related is all made, just so you know, with stuff that you can buy at the local grocery store. We don't do any kind of baking videos where you basically have to be an engineer or an artist, to do it. I see some of the cakes that are made on those baking shows. I'm like, that's beautiful. I'm not an engineer. I don't know how to suspend all of that, from an engineering standpoint, but it's beautiful. So that's it. So, hey, thanks for joining us. I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. My company is A Total Clusterfudge. That's the name of it. You can Google it. We are commercial bakeries. And Aging Out Loud is about Gen X nostalgia, built after 40, shared stories, shared commentary, sharing childhood stories as it relates to growing up Gen X, growing up with the streetlights, y'all. All right, so cultural commentary, we're going to be talking about that, satirical pieces, basically how air travel has changed from the 80s and 90s. And I understand why, I do, but it's not as fun as it once was. It's not. I got to get a drink. Hang on. All right. So quick hits in. All right. So just say yes in the chat if you remember these. Saturday morning cartoons. Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes characters. Do you all know that in the Looney Tunes, Mel Blanc was the man that was the voice of the Looney Tunes? If you know this, Mel Blanc was the voice of the Looney Tunes, and he did all the voices. He did all 400 voices, Mel Blanc did. And so he was the voice of the Looney Tunes. But when we go back and we look at some of the content, even Pepe Le Pew, I mean, the guy was violating every HR, workplace thing there was. I mean, and we just didn't question it. We talk a lot about Fonzie, Fonzie from Gen X. I mean, he was a hero. And we're all sitting there as like 10-year-old kids watching this guy leave Arnold's with like 3 women. It's like, what is happening? And so nobody questioned it. He was like a hero. So those are just the kind of quirky things that Gen X grew up with, that at Aging Out Loud, that we're going to review and talk about and whatever. Hey, if you're just joining us, I'm Alisa Shakespeare, and this is Aging Out Loud. I had intended to come into, this is our first 1 hour live. This is nothing more than a meet and greet from me to y'all. And it's just to say what we're about, what we're doing, etc. Doing some shared stories tonight. All right. So Saturday morning cartoons, yes. Mixtapes, y'all. Yeah. I mean, we said that mixtapes were basically emotional landmines on side A and side B. Flat out, right? Smoking sections and smoking on airplanes. Okay, right? I mean, we can talk about this. We had smoking sections in restaurants that was basically just divided by like nothing. Like over there smoking, over here is not. And so you had kids in the restaurant. I mean, it's so, like if you stop and think about like that, like we did that, And so I think it's fun and humorous to revisit some of those things, especially as we compare it to the way things are today. And I do a lot on Jell-O. Because remember, you guys, when you couldn't go to a family gathering, a potluck, a school event, or anything, and there wasn't Jell-O. Hi there. Hi, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. My company is called Total Cluster Fudge, and our platform is about built after 40. So we're new to YouTube. The platform is going to be all about businesses after 40, Gen X nostalgia, Gen X humor, cultural commentary. We will be live every single day. Usually when we're live, we're going to be doing demonstrations. And then we're doing rapid fire nostalgia conversations. All right. Smoking sections. Lime Jell-O salad, y'all. Babysitters who were 11 years old. Lest we not forget. Hi there. I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. And my company is called Total Cluster Fudge. I'm a Total Cluster Fudge. It's a Total Cluster Fudge. Our platform on YouTube is all about built after 40. So everything we're new. Everything we're going to be posting is all about Gen X nostalgia, building businesses after 40, shared stories as it was when we were kids, right? We'll be talking about Saturday morning cartoons and all that good stuff. So that's what we're doing. Anyway, we wanted to go live tonight for a full hour just to make introductions, just to, hi there, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. My company is Total Cluster Fudge. It's a Total Cluster Fudge. I'm a Total Cluster Fudge. And we are coming to you live. This is our first 1 hour live. It's nothing more than a meet and greet. We're talking to you about what Aging Out Loud is going to be about. Our platform is about Gen X nostalgia. It's about Gen X leadership. It's about Gen X in business. It's about carrying the torch forward. We are going to be putting forth a ton of really cool stuff and teaching Gen Z how to write letters. We're going to be doing a ton of giveaways. We're doing a ton of competitions. We'll be doing a ton of stuff in baking and home decor, that type of thing, all very Gen X driven. And just the whole platform is really to be social. Shared stories, nostalgia, talking about what our childhoods were like. If you're over 40, or under 40, you probably won't understand a lot of what we're doing. It's really designed for Gen X and over 40. So we are going to start out with basically our childhood, right, was a train wreck. I mean, we were eating Jell-O lime with floating carrots in it. We were eating Jell-O lime with floating carrots in it, y'all. I mean, remember, you could go to restaurants and Jell-O was a side dish. I mean, this is what we're going to be about. We're going to be about shared stories, shared childhood stories, etc. Hot car seats, no seat belts. No seatbelts. That wasn't a thing that we had. No seatbelts. So, and then we're going to be talking about all the stuff that we grew up with that you may have forgotten about, like Columbia House. Dating apps were basically meeting at the mall. Meeting at the fountain was basically our Tinder. That was the hookup spot that you like met people at the fountain. Dodgeball trauma, metal slides at the park, all of it. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. We were intended to come to you from our commercial bakery, but I got called into Bentonville, Arkansas, so I'm coming to you. This is a meet and greet. We are brand new to the YouTube channel, and we're just telling people about the platform. Aging Out Loud is about exactly that, aging out loud. I'm 58, I'm a mother of 2. I've got a 3-year-old little boy and a 3-month-old little boy, and I run businesses, and our whole thing is you're not done. No matter what your age is, if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, this is the place for you. We're talking about starting businesses after 40. We're talking about what it's like to raise kids later in life. We're talking about Gen X nostalgia. We're going to be doing a lot of charcuterie board, all kinds of stuff that we're going to be showing you. A lot of giveaways. If you follow me, Alisa Shakespeare at AOL with Gen X, that's Aging Out Loud with Gen X, it is going to be some fun content, a lot of free giveaways, a lot of competitions, a lot of fun stuff that we're going to be doing that's all Gen X and nostalgia related. None of the least of which is just reminiscing on what it was like to grow up Gen X. So I'm Alisa Shakespeare. Total Cluster Fudge is the name of my company. I mean, that's a good name. I don't care who y'all are. I mean, Total Cluster Fudge. I mean, come on. All right. We have actually a new product that's hitting the market on the TikTok shop. It's actually just launching right now. It's called Sweet AF. It's actually a line of baking mixes designed for the air fryers. Sweet AF, for air fryer, of course. So, she goes all the way to the edge, and then, it's a little double entendre. All right. So Gen X versus today. We're going to be talking a lot about Gen X versus today. Ordering shoes with a salesman. Remember, if you're Gen Xer, remember going into the store and ordering shoes with a salesman, as opposed to just going and get them yourself. Hi there, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. My company is Total Cluster Fudge. This is a meet and greet tonight. This is our first, we're doing just a 1-hour live. People are coming and going. We're just doing a quick introduction. Go check out our content on YouTube. It is Alisa Shakespeare at AOL with Gen X. And this is a meet and greet tonight to just introduce to you who I am, what we're going to be doing on the platform. Hi there, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. This is our first 1-hour meet and greet live YouTube. We just started on YouTube with our platform, but we just wanted to come to you live for an hour. People are coming in and out, telling you what we're about, what we're going to be doing. Check out our content on YouTube. It is Alisa Shakespeare at AOL. That's Aging Out Loud with Gen X. This is a ton of Gen X nostalgia. This is Gen X shared stories. We will be live every single day from our commercial bakery, showing you how we do all kinds of fun stuff. And we're also within that going to be doing all kinds of competitions. Our first one is going to be called The Letter Lives, and we're going to encourage people to start writing letters again. And then people that write in and give us their stories, we're gonna be giving all kinds of fudge and chocolates and all kinds of stuff away. Because we have commercial bakeries. So we're gonna encourage that, and we're gonna encourage Gen X to teach Gen Z how to write letters and the very joy of the mailbox. Remember when we were younger? I mean, the joy of the mailbox. We loved it. It was something like, oh, if something came in the mailbox, it was great, and that's kind of lost. So I like to think that Gen X, it's on us to try to kind of carry some of those torches forward. Hi there, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. My company is called Total Cluster Fudge. We run commercial bakeries. This platform is new on YouTube, and we are at Alisa Shakespeare at AOL with Gen X. That's Aging Out Loud with Gen X. And our platform is about Gen X nostalgia, shared stories, cultural commentary. Most of our lives are going to be coming live from our commercial bakeries, and we are going to be showing you guys, while we're talking about Gen X nostalgia, while we're talking about shared Gen X stories, we're going to be baking and showing you guys how to make better for you sugar items and cookie dough for dogs and all kinds of fun stuff. So Tonight is our first full 1 hour meet and greet live on YouTube. Again, this is nothing more than just a simple, this is me getting to know you. Hi there, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Total Cluster Fudge, or this is Aging Out Loud. My company's called Total Cluster Fudge, and this is our first 1 hour live YouTube as nothing more than a meet and greet to let you know that our platform is new on YouTube. It's called Alisa Shakespeare, Aging Out Loud with Gen X, and our platform is all about Gen X nostalgia, shared stories, Gen X, baking, tips, all kinds of baking tips, that type of thing. So anyway, we can kind of get into it a little bit more. We got about 20 minutes left, so if anybody has any questions or you want to drop comments, we're happy to answer any questions or any comments that you want to drop. So again, it's just a very, hi there, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. Tonight's live is just a meet and greet. We're new on YouTube. We have a brand new platform that we're introducing on YouTube called Aging Out Loud, which is all built after 40, business built after 40, raising kids or grandkids or whatever after 40, Gen X nostalgia. All of it is related to content for people over the age of 40. We're going to be doing a ton of fun stuff. So I'm Alisa Shakespeare. My company is Total Cluster Fudge. You can Google Total Cluster Fudge. I meant to come to you tonight from our commercial bakery, but I got called to Bentonville, Arkansas for a meeting with Walmart, and so here I am. But I wanted to come out. I'm just a full hour of greeting people in and out, in and out. This is a meet and greet. Go check out my content on TikTok at Aging Out Loud. You can also check me out at Alisa Shakespeare at AOL with Gen X. So that's a throwback. But anyway, this site is about aging out loud. This is about what, life after 40, building businesses after 40, raising kids after 40, Gen X nostalgia, all the shared stories. And it's also going to be about looking at someone, hey there, nice to see you. Nakar, number 4, hello. It's also going to be about looking at things that we had in the past, like letter writing, and trying to kind of revive some of those things for Gen Z. So those are the kind, and I thank you for the compliment, I appreciate it. So those are the things that we're going to be doing at Aging Out Loud. And so this was scheduled, and then I got called out of town, but it's a meet and greet. So guys, this is a little unstructured. I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Total Cluster Fudge. We are Aging Out Loud here. The content on YouTube, I think if you're over the age of 40, you're going to find to be funny and fun and very non-controversial. We don't touch politics. We don't do any of that kind of stuff. It's very social. We're going to be doing a ton of competitions and contests where we're encouraging people, to write letters and to do all kinds of, we can take the things that came from Gen X in the past and take them forward if possible, right? I always say that a turning point is always when you take something that's out of your control and then you make a decision for something that's in your control. That's a turning point. And so I really want to make it my life's mission here at 58 to start really looking hard at what it looks like to age, especially in America, because it's a pretty youth-obsessed society. And then just encouraging people after the age of 40 to to live their best life. We do a lot on Grit and Glory, and Grit and Glory is about taking historical figures. We talk about Samuel Jackson or Samuel Adams and Thomas Jefferson and people from the past and different amazing things that they did and how they kind of, how we can use them as examples on carrying the torch forward. So we're going to be coming to you live. We're going to be doing lots of demos. We're going to be doing lots of cookie doughs and baking demos and all that stuff. So tonight's live is simply a meet and greet. It's simply, this is who we are. This is what we're doing. People are coming in out. Hi there, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. My company is Total Cluster Fudge. It's a Total Cluster Fudge. I'm a Total Cluster Fudge. And tonight's live is a simple meet and greet. We have a brand new platform on YouTube called Alisa Shakespeare at AOL with Gen X. Our content is all Gen X related, baking related. We're going to be talking about nostalgic things from the past, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So again, tonight's live is simply a meet and greet. This is who I am. This is what we're doing. We've got about 15 minutes left here, so if anybody has any questions or wants to drop anything in in the chat. I'm happy to answer. But that's what we're up to. So it's nice to meet everybody tonight. I know that people have been kind of coming and going on the quick intro. But we're going to keep going for another 15 minutes because we're getting our feet wet on kind of how these lives work and making sure that we're bringing to you the information that you're looking for. All right, so let's just get started. We'll start from the top again. So this is the first official Aging Out Loud live stream. Again, like I said, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. Tonight we're going to laugh, we'll reminisce. Hi there. We're going to ask, we'll just look at big questions. So I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. My company is Total Cluster Fudge. And this is a meet and greet tonight live. We are just meeting people. We're letting you know that we have a brand new platform on YouTube that is all based around Gen X nostalgia, baking businesses. Hi there, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud, and my company is Total Cluster Fudge. This is our first live, and our first live is basically just a meet and greet. So we've had people coming in and out for the last hour. We got about 14 minutes left. We're just telling you we have a brand new platform on YouTube called Alisa Shakespeare AOL with Gen X. That's Aging Out Loud. Everything on this platform is going to be Gen X related, baking. I own bakeries, so it's baking related, but it's all basically geared towards your life after 40. Hi there, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud, and my company is called Total Cluster Fudge. You can check it out. You can Google it, Alisa Shakespeare at Total Cluster Fudge. We have a brand new platform we're introducing on YouTube called Aging Out Loud, and it is about everything after 40. Life after 40, building businesses after 40, raising kids after 40, etc. So tonight's live is basically just me coming to you as a meet and greet. This is what we're about. This is what we're doing. And we've got about 13 minutes left. So if you guys have any questions or want to drop any questions in the chat, I'm happy to answer it. But we've been having people kind of come and go, which has been great. Just kind of letting you know what we're doing. Nothing major, just a quick introduction. Please check out our content on YouTube. Check out our content on TikTok. Check out our content on Instagram. This is not just social media, y'all. This is something that we're trying to make it a movement and what it means to age, especially in the United States, right? It's a very youth-obsessed culture. Nice to see you. I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. My company is called Total Cluster Fudge. Tonight's live, this is our first live. We're coming to you just as a meet and greet so that we can kind of get to know you, you can get to know us and what we're doing. So we're a full hour tonight on our live, and it's just, again, a way of just kind of meeting people so we can kind of tell you what we're going to be doing, tell you about the new platform. Hi there, I'm Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. My company is Total Cluster Fudge, and tonight's live is our very first one, and we're just doing it to do kind of a meet and greet to tell you that we have a brand new platform starting on YouTube called Aging Out Loud. And it will be mostly geared around Gen X nostalgia, and just what it means to age. It's building businesses after 40, it's raising kids after 40, and we're going to be doing a ton of stuff that's all Gen X related, nostalgic, shared stories, childhood stories, etc. And so we're brand new to YouTube. And we are going to be, bringing you a lot of fun stuff. So we hope that you guys will go check out the content now that's on YouTube, and then also check it out on the TikTok shop. So a lot of fun stuff. We've got about 10 minutes left. So if there's any questions, we're happy to answer it, but that's what we're up to here at Aging Out Loud. So anyway, hey there, nice to see ya. My name is Alisa Shakespeare. This is Aging Out Loud. My company is called A Total Cluster Fudge. And we are brand new to YouTube, and we have a brand new platform that we're starting. Tonight's just been kind of a meet and greet. And we are going to be doing tons of giveaways, tons of Gen X nostalgia. Check out our content at Aging Out Loud. It is actually Alisa Shakespeare at AOL with Gen X. So we're down to the last few minutes here, so if you guys have any other questions for me, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to be signing off here shortly. And so that's it. So it's been a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of people come and go, and it's been nice meeting everybody. If you guys have any other questions about what we're going to be doing, when we're going to be starting the baking stuff and all that kind of stuff, I'm happy to answer it. But anyway, yeah, that's what we got for tonight. So it's nice meeting everybody, and we will see you on YouTube.